We believe that the situation around the Nord Stream sabotage is very important. It is developing in a wrong way. You know that from the outset we were criticizing the investigations by Denmark, Sweden, and Germany. Two of them, investigations by Sweden and Denmark, have already concluded by establishing the fact that there was indeed a sabotage of Nord Stream. This is, of course, something very substantial for 1.5 years of investigation. We are noticing that there are new details transpiring right now about the course of the German investigation, but it still remains very obscure and non-transparent for the Security Council, which we think is very bad, because the direction where it all moves is to shift the blame from those who are really behind this sabotage and present to us a kind of scapegoats who maybe were involved in this crime, but they could not do it alone. I think everybody understands this. We are serious people in the Security Council, and we should engage in serious things. That's why we are not satisfied with this, and we want to raise awareness of everybody. 2.5 years ago, we tabled a draft resolution of the UN Security Council. It was not about establishing the terms of reference for international investigation. It was just an appeal to the Secretary-General to share his thoughts on how this investigation can be conducted. And even such a mild formula scared to death our Western former partners who did everything in their power to sabotage this resolution. Western countries are promoting the same mantra that we shouldn't obstruct the conduct of national investigations, and we shouldn't interfere. But the problem is that we are losing precious time. And of course, it's very difficult. It's much more difficult to find any circumstances of this terrorist attack after almost 3 years that it occurred. And those who are kind of putting the brake on the investigation are fully aware of this. First of all, on the investigation. Russia is being absolutely kept in the dark on this investigation. We repeatedly reached out to Germany. We repeatedly reached out to Sweden, to Denmark when they were conducting the investigations. We referred to the binding bilateral agreements between our countries that would necessitate the legal cooperation on such matters, but they were ignored. And anything that we received were just shallow letters refusing de facto to cooperate. So we don't have any access to the materials of the investigation, which is, of course, scandalous because we are the most affected country in this regard. The other one is Germany, but it's up to them to take any decisions.
25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.